working. Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 16th of October. So there's a couple of trades possibly setting up this morning. We'll have a look at those in a moment. Firstly, let's just look at the news events which could impact our trading. Firstly, well, today we've got FOMC speakers this afternoon. I need to just check across the other system. I'll just let that sort itself out. But that appears to be it. We've got New Zealand inflation. Well, that's at 10:45 this evening, so not going to be worrying too much about that at this stage. But if that does come up higher than expected, I mean the forecast is higher than previous, and if that inflation's kicking through, most probably on fuel, I should imagine, energy costs. But if that's kicking through, it really is giving the central banks a headache, and it might get them talking about further increases. Aside of that, then we've got this week we've got some Canadian inflation, US retail sales. I'm just looking through this here. The UK employment report tomorrow morning. Just seeing what sort of week it is. We've got a load of Fed speakers through the week. Unemployment data for Australia on Thursday there. More Fed speakers. Lots and lots of Fed speakers, and this is only the headline ones. Okay, core retail sales, Canada. More speakers. So there's a lot of speakers this week. Let's just check for the rest of the day in terms of what this is picking up. Some Bank of England speakers. Speaker, ECB speaker. So there's a few speakers dotted here and there, but not massively. Right, let's get on and look at the technicals. Technically, then start off looking at euro dollar, and we'll take the big picture first. And well, Thursday, Friday saw it selling, coming off quite. Well, Thursday particularly came off particularly strong. Friday still a reasonable day, although it was a bit all over the place. And well, at the moment I'm just looking at this potential for it to come back to its weekly pivot here. I've just put an alert on it this morning. I will look to sell off of that if it gets back to it, with the bigger trend still in place. We've got this intermediate trend that's sort of sitting there. I'm just looking to see if it gets into that. Well, I say sell, I'll wait for a bit of a reversal on the shorter time frames, but I'm looking into that weekly pivot, which coincides, as it happens, with the daily R1. So that sort of area is where I'm looking at the potential rollover. Now, if it pushes on through, well, I'll be sitting on my hands a lot today in that case, because at the moment this is very much in a downward trend. The pound is pretty similar, and it's showing the same sort of setup. We've got a strong downward trend on the dailies there. The 4 hours has shown us an intermediate downtrend. However, again, we've got this potential bounce to push through to the weekly pivot, and that's really what I'd like it to run up to. Just short of the R1 on the dailies here. It is, yeah, it's forming its decent retrace. It won't be taking out the previous retracements even in doing so. So they'll be interesting. Again, if it gets there, it's not a case of selling it immediately. It gets there, it's just looking for the hourly sort of pattern to show me some sort of reversal. Maybe right into this afternoon, we'll see. Other markets here, I mean, you could find similar-ish potential on some of the others. Yen didn't push on so far on Friday. I'll just leave that alone for now. It's just too iffy. The Aussie dollar did sell off, although we're seeing this stronger retrace at the moment. And again, this could be just coming up to its weekly pivot here. I haven't put an alert on that one so much. but we'll see how that develops. It has broken, or no, not quite broken the previous highs there. So yeah, Aussie got some potential, but not quite the same. I prefer the euro to pound out of these markets. Canadian dollar, it started moving in the opposite direction reasonably. It did pop up obviously on Thursday, and then Friday it's been pulling off. It's I'm just looking at it, it's got scope to continue to the downside here. It hasn't caught the daily pivot. If it rolls through its S1 today, well, that could be a play on for the S2, so it's got a 75% chance of that happening if it does roll through there. New Zealand dollar, again, this really sold on Friday and continued its sell-off on Friday. You see we've had a little gap up, and on the dailies there just pushing up. Again, this could be a reasonable candidate. So we've got a few here. You could include, we could at least 4. see what develops here. Has got this gap below. Wonder if that will go back. It was on Friday. It didn't pull into the retracement at all. It just carried on going. See what it does as we run through this morning and into this afternoon. Other pairings, the Swissy was looking good on Friday, and it sort of it did actually roll over on Friday and carried on in the end. I'd been looking for these retracements and the continuation, and where it came later on in the day there, it was quite late on. That's 1 o'clock. It sort of pitched on through. I don't like this one so much for it to pull back up to its daily pivot here. If it does, it'll put a higher low in, so it's not so attractive. There's better options out there. Looking at the cross pairs, not a great deal here. Euro CAD, well, this was looking like it might have reacted almost straight away and started selling off, but this sort of rally we got going on through on the euro, the strength of the euro is just pushing this through at the moment. So not really setting up now, but it's got the scope. The pound CAD was a similar-ish. Well, it may just run into its pivot. So there's quite a few of these retracements. These sort of they're not flags, just decent retracements. This one actually looks a bit more of a flag, but it's spoilt the pattern down here. But either way, this is what I'm looking at the moment for this morning. I'll continue looking through some of those this morning in the trading room. So aside of that, then let's just have a look at very quick look at gold. So whatever gold's doing, silver's doing similar. Gold's selling off this morning. Come off quite. I mean, after Friday's shove up there, gold coming back this morning. Until the situation in Israel is sorted, and with Gaza, I think this could be a difficult one, and it's got more likelihood of seeing safety running in there. Also, inflation keeps on pushing through. It might help it as well, but it's bang into its daily pivot pretty much at the moment. See what reaction that gets this morning, but there's a possibility. The oil markets, just looking at the shape, did change on again on Friday. We saw the sort of move up there. Got to be watching this because it's a bit turning into a little bit of a Gartley pattern. Let me just draw that very quickly on here if I can. This is gonna, it's alright. Drawing it. It gives me the tool in a different place now. So what it's done is pulled back like this, and this is where we are. But not. This is a Gartley, more like a Gartley pattern, and at some point it could just fail and continue. So yeah, it's sort of there. Got the potential. We'll see how it develops here. I mean, it hasn't pulled up much more than the previous highs here. Normally I look for a fib level at least, but it is rolling back a little bit. Yeah, looking just at bit on the soft side. Just watch this carefully. Yeah, it's a bit of in betweeny. Okay, looking at US market, just going to look at the S&P today. Again on Friday we saw the continued sell-off. Everything seems to have taken a bit of a rally at the moment, and maybe a bit of a resting, but there's the potential for this all to continue in their routes here. At the moment we've got lower highs on this 4-hourly, and it's looking pretty soft as it is. It's really quite it's not until the afternoon when we're seeing the main action on these markets, which is to be expected with a cash market open, but yeah, but still looking soft, as is sorry, so is the DAX on the bigger picture here, rolling over, but a little bit of a bounce at the moment. Really not I don't know, there you go, it's another one of these, just like the currencies then. Looks like it's got the scope to run into its weekly pivot. It could be the signal, which or the point of resistance, when we'll then see a sell-off on these. FTSE, just finish off with the FTSE. It's a mess on the dailies now. It's really become a mess, a horrible mess. Probably best left alone. I wouldn't touch it whilst it's like that. Finally, very finally, for those that are following on the world of crypto, just have a look at what Bitcoin's been up to, because it has been up to something. There we go. Just catching a bit of a rally this morning. The weekend was quite quiet relatively, but quite a rally coming through. It's up 2.5% at the moment. So Ethereum, the similar move up there, but it's dropped back quite sharply. Maybe this is just we've just seen these rallies, and you see the Ethereum coming off quite sharply here, profit taking maybe straight away. Makes you question the moves when you see things like this. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning on the YouTube site. Bye for now. Right, let's get away from these.